Remember your retirement dreams, leisurely mornings, stress-free living, maybe even that little place by the sea? Instead, most are clipping coupons, avoiding the doctor, and wondering if they can afford to keep the air conditioning on. The global retirement crisis is real. But there's an escape route most people never consider, and that is Mediterranean Europe, where centuries-old communities welcome retirees with open arms and budgets that actually make sense. Today, we're counting down 5 Italian seaside towns where your retirement dreams aren't just possible, they're affordable. Wait until you see the last place, where waterfront living costs less than what most people pay for car insurance. Casalbordino, Lido, or Abruzzo. We're starting our countdown in Italy's hidden gem region called Abruzzo. Most people have never heard of it, which honestly is perfect for us. This is where the Adriatic Sea meets these ancient fishing families, who've been doing the same thing for hundreds of years. Your morning cappuccino costs about $1.20. And somehow the tourist crowd still haven't figured out what the locals have always known. Picture this. You wake up and step onto your balcony just as the sun's coming up over the Adriatic. It's painting everything in these gorgeous amber and pink colors. The air smells like wild rosemary, mixed with that fresh sea breeze. And out in the water, you see these wooden platforms stretching out like old fingers, reaching into the calm waves. These are the famous trabocchi, brilliant fishing structures that have survived centuries of storms. The cool thing is, a bunch of them have been turned into little restaurants now, so you can actually eat fresh fish while sitting right over the water, with waves rolling underneath your feet, and a beautiful crescent-shaped bay that is wrapped by the Casalbordino Lido. The whole waterfront is lined with these family-run cafes where you'll see grandparents, parents, and kids all working together. The summer might bring Italian families escaping inland heat, but autumn reveals the town's true soul. Locals walking their dogs on empty beaches, fishermen sitting in doorways mending their nets. It's got this timeless rhythm that just works. But the most important thing, your money finally makes sense here. Town center apartments rent for 450 to 600 euros monthly. That's less than most car payments back home. Want to live near those vine-covered hills? Try 350 to 500 euros monthly. Utilities run 160 to 220 euros, even in winter. Those weekly trips to the market? Plan on spending about 200 to 280 euros monthly. But here's what you get for that money. Tomatoes that actually taste like tomatoes, creamy burrata cheese, bread that's still warm from those wood-fired ovens, and local wine that costs less than a Starbucks back home. Now, the internet costs 27 to 35 euros. Dining out, 10 to 16 euros, gets you handmade pasta with clams, salad, wine, the whole deal. All at places where they know your name by visit 3. Plus, Abruzzo is one of Italy's safest regions, hands down. The closest hospital is in Vasto, about 25 minutes by car, and they handle both emergencies and specialist care. For Italy's retirement visa, you need 31,000 euros annual passive income. That could be your pension, social security, whatever. Health insurance runs 100 to 170 euros monthly for folks in their 60s and 70s. So once you become a resident, you can tap into Italy's national health system for a small annual fee. And more doctors speak English these days. So will you regret moving in here? Well, Patricia, who traded her life in the US for a 2-bedroom place just 300 meters from the sea, has given us her answer. She was a librarian in Portland, paying $1,800 a month for a tiny studio apartment back home. Now, her mornings start with barefoot walks on the beach. Then she grabs a cappuccino that costs what one coffee used to back home. I thought I'd miss Target runs and drive-thrus, she told me. Now she watches fishing boats dock, but honestly, I've never felt this peaceful. Neighbors invite me for family dinners. The pharmacist checks on me if I haven't been by in a while. Every single sunset feels like it's just for me. Her only regret? She waited until she was 6 or 8 to make the move. I could have had 10 more years of this, she says. By the way, we found a cozy 2-room apartment right on the Trabocchi coast. It's about 40 square meters inside, with a full bedroom, a bright living area with a kitchenette, and a bathroom. The real star is the 20 square meter Seaview Terrace, perfect for morning coffee or evening wine while the Adriatic shimmers below. And it's only 400 meters from the sand, so barefoot walks at dawn are an everyday reality. The asking price? Around 99,000 euros. It's in livable condition, so you could move in right away, though a little fresh paint and humidity management would make it shine even brighter, with the Casalbordino giving you Trabocchi charm and Adriatic calm. But maybe you want southern Italy's heart with endless olive groves, authentic markets, beaches where locals swim through October. Number 4 takes us to Puglia's heel, where ancient beauty shines and your retirement dollar works even harder. San Pietro, Vernotico, or Puglia. Here you wake up to the sound of ancient olive trees rustling outside your window. Those silver-green leaves catch the morning light across what feels like endless groves, stretching in every direction. And by the time you step outside, the wood-fired bakeries are already filling the streets with the smell of fresh bread. These same stone streets have been walked by countless generations before you. There's something about life here. It moves with this old Italian grace. By 7 in the morning, bakers are pulling golden loaves from ovens that have been burning for decades. Then the weekly market happens, and it transforms the whole piazza. Farmers roll in with blood oranges that look like jewels, wheels of burrata still warm from being made, bundles of wild chicory that the local grandmothers turn into magic, with just olive oil, garlic, and generations of kitchen know-how. This is the real heart of Puglia. Time moves to nature's rhythm here, not some digital clock. You'll see old men debating last night's football match under trees that are literally centuries old, horse-drawn carts loaded with grapes clip-clop past, while somehow high-speed internet and modern supermarkets blend seamlessly into all this tradition. Oh, and the beach. Torre San Gennaro is just 12 minutes away, with turquoise water you can swim in through October. Your financial stress just melts away here. An apartment in the historic center, with those thick stone walls that keep you cool even on blazing hot days, runs about 400 to 550 euros monthly. Want some garden space outside the center? You're looking at 320 to 450 euros monthly. Utilities cover everything: electricity, water, heating, trash pickup, for about 150 to 210 euros monthly. Those weekly market adventures cost around 200 to 380 euros monthly. But what you get is seasonal produce, artisan cheeses, fresh fish, and this robust local wine called Primitivo. Internet runs 27 to 35 euros. And eating out, 10 to 16 euros gets you these incredible handmade pasta dishes. Orecchiette with spicy sausage, fresh salad, house wine, all at family places where recipes haven't changed in generations. Puglia is among Italy's safest regions, with almost no earthquake risk. Brindisi Hospital is 30 minutes away, and Lecce's larger facilities are under an hour through the olive groves. To retire here, you'll need 31,000 euros in annual passive income and health insurance of 100 to 170 euros monthly between ages 60 and 70. Residency grants access to the national health system for reasonable contributions, but the real treasure is the community. Roberto, a mechanic from Detroit, moved into a stone townhouse with a rooftop terrace overlooking olive groves. Now neighbors bring him wine. Conversations mix Italian and English, and friendships grow naturally. I lived next to the same people for 15 years in Michigan and barely knew their names. He told me, "Here, I'm part of something bigger." Bike rides through groves replaced gym workouts, market shopping became adventure, and his stress dropped so much his doctor cut his medication. I came for low costs, but stayed for a quality of life I never imagined possible. This place has given him a new life. And not far from where he lives, there's a first-floor apartment in a 2-family building just off the historic center. At 134 square meters, it gives you 3 full bedrooms, a large living room, kitchen, and balconies to catch the southern sun. The price? Around 62,000 euros. It's vacant and ready for a new life, only about 10 kilometers from Torre San Gennaro Beach. San Pietro Vernotico delivers olive grove serenity with easy beach access. But what if you want even more space for your money? What if you're looking for beaches that stretch for kilometers, not just minutes? Well, let's take you to. This is where retirees discover some of Italy's best seaside values and where your housing budget goes further than you ever imagined possible. Corigliano, Rossano, or Calabria? The Ionian Sea here doesn't mess around. It announces itself with these sweeping golden beaches that stretch as far as you can see. Crystal clear streams tumble down from the Calabrian mountains and flow right into the warm salt water. It's real Sicily. Neighbors pause Vespa rides for gossip, pharmacists remember prescriptions, and $1.20 still buys perfect cannoli. This place is pretty unique. It is made from the merging of two ancient towns together called Corigliano and Rossano, one by the coast and one in the hills. Down by the Lungomare, retirees find modern conveniences, while up in the alleys, Byzantine churches and centuries-old stones tell their stories. Evening passaggi brings everyone together. Grandparents strolling, kids chasing soccer balls, couples sharing gelato before it melts in the southern sun. But here's Priolo's secret weapon: proximity to UNESCO World Heritage Siracusa. 20 minutes by car or quick train brings you to Ortesia's Baroque churches, ancient Greek theaters, waterfront piazzas. Yet you return evenings to neighborhoods where life costs a fraction of tourist prices. It's Manhattan culture with small-town community prices. Retirement math finally works where practical living meets Mediterranean dreams. Comfortable two-bedroom apartments rent 420 to 580 euros monthly. That's less than what most people pay for cable and internet back home. These places come with balconies overlooking either the ancient streets or that incredible blue sea. Want something outside the center with a little garden where you can grow your own tomatoes and basil? Monthly rent drops to 300 to 450 euros. Utilities average 150 euros to 220 euros monthly, including summer air conditioning, refreshing showers, brief winter heating, waste collection. The best part, Sicily's sea breezes help reduce cooling costs. See, Schiavonea Beach is only 10 minutes by car. And you don't need to worry about being remote, because local ERS handle emergency with bigger hospitals within an hour's drive. Visa rules are the same as elsewhere in Italy, and English is increasingly heard in pharmacies and shops, which works well for a lot of retirees. Meet David and Anne from Yorkshire. They needed space for grandchildren visits. Impossible on UK pensions back home. They found a 120 square meter apartment with 2 balconies for 88,000 euros, less than their annual British council taxes. We weren't buying a home, Anne said, watching grandkids build sandcastles 10 minutes from their door. We were buying time, family time, personal time. David's blood pressure dropped so much his doctor reduced medications. It's not just cheaper living, he said, watching morning fishing boats. It's fuller living, connected to community and nature in ways we'd forgotten were possible. If these insights help your planning, hit subscribe and the bell. We research genuine listings weekly, realistic budgets, never fantasy ruins. Like this 3-bedroom duplex in Corigliano, Rossano, spread across 2 levels and about 130 square meters. It comes with a living room, kitchen, and 2 bathrooms, plus balconies that look out over both the Ionian Sea and the historic center. The coast at Schiavonea is barely a 10-minute drive away, and you can own all of it for just 49,000 euros. We show both magic and reality so you know what you're entering. Your Mediterranean life might be one video away, or it might just be at what is known as the practical paradise, a town north of Siracusa that guidebooks somehow completely ignore. Priolo Gargallo. This isn't postcard Italy with restored palazzos and tour groups. It's real Sicily. Neighbors pause Vespa rides for gossip, and pharmacists remember prescriptions. But the real magic here is how modern convenience gets wrapped up in genuine community life. Your morning walk to the bakery takes you past these modest apartments where laundry hangs from balconies like colorful flags. Kids play soccer in small piazzas, while their grandmothers watch from plastic chairs, cheering and giving advice in equal measure. Marina di Priolo is just 6 to 10 minutes away through residential streets lined with lemon trees. It's not some fancy resort beach. It's where local families swim, have Sunday picnics, and fishing boats return as the sun paints everything gold. But here's Priolo's secret weapon. It's 20 minutes by car or a quick train ride to UNESCO World Heritage Siracusa. All those Baroque churches, ancient Greek theaters, and waterfront pizzas become your weekend playground. Yet every evening you come home to neighborhoods where life costs a fraction of tourist prices. It's like having Manhattan culture with small-town community living costs. But don't be mistaken. Comfortable two-bedroom apartments with balconies that catch morning sun and evening breezes rent for only 420 to 580 euros monthly. That's less than many people's health insurance back home, and utilities run 150 to 220 euros monthly, including summer air conditioning, plus the sea breeze help keep cooling costs down. Weekly shopping costs 200 to 280 euros monthly for incredible fresh produce, tomatoes that taste like concentrated sunshine, citrus picked yesterday, olive oil from trees that have fed families for generations. Here, the internet costs 27 to 35 euros. Dining out becomes a neighborhood celebration. 9 to 15 euros gets you pasta con lissard, mixed salads, house wine at 3-generation family places. While the streets are safe for walks, neighbors naturally look out for each other. Crime rates are low, mostly petty theft rather than violent crime. And Siracusa's Umberto I Hospital lies 20 minutes away, but for complex procedures or international connections, you will need to go to Catania's University Hospital, which is only an hour away. Standard requirements are still needed for visa, and once you get that sorted out, you can live happily, just like Michael. Michiel was Boston Museum curator, loved Sicily, but was priced out of Ortigia's tourist market. The solution? PRIOLO, 90 square meters 2-bedroom for under 95,000 euros. That is double space at half cost versus historic center. His daily routine transformed completely. Morning swims at Marina di Priolo replaced expensive gym memberships. Afternoon trains to Siracusa, just 2 stops away, give him access to world-class museums and concerts. Evenings mean quiet balcony aperitivo overlooking lemon trees instead of cruise ship crowds. But before you start imagining living a life like Michael, you will need to think about one thing. See, Priolo sits adjacent to petrochemical facilities. While outside residential areas, they can affect air quality depending on wind conditions. Some days unnoticeable, others you might catch industrial hints. Visit during different seasons and weather patterns before committing. Some buyers don't notice it, others find it problematic. The trade-off is exceptional connectivity at pension-friendly prices. And if you want to go for it, we've actually found a spacious apartment in Priolo Gargallo. It's on the 2nd floor of a well-kept building right in town, giving you easy access to shops, cafes, and bus stops. Inside you get 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a full kitchen, and a large living room. Altogether about 200 square meters of bright space. The condition is livable, heating is in place, and the price is around 95,000 euros. The local beach is only a short drive away, and with Syracuse's train connections nearby, you've got culture and convenience at your doorstep. Now, let's be honest, Priolo may not win beauty contests, but location creates practical magic for retirees wanting culture and community without premium prices. But there is one place that offers both. We're heading to a real Sicilian seaside city. Bigger, more vibrant, alive all year, still shockingly affordable. Licata. Before dawn on Sicily's southern coast, fishing boats rumble back into Licata's ancient harbor. By sunrise, glistening swordfish and the sea bream line the stalls as locals queue with baskets for tonight's dinner, fish caught only hours earlier. This is real Sicilian life, a working seaside city of 35,000, not a tourist museum. Marianello Beach stretches golden just 1 kilometer from the historic center, and the Corso comes alive each morning with shutters opening, children racing to school, and fruit vendors in their decades-old spots. By evening, families spill into the streets for the passeggiata, 3 generations walking together, couples holding hands, neighbors catching up. Unlike smaller tourist towns, Licata thrives year-round with schools, businesses, and cultural events, that never pause for the season. Apartments near the harbor rent for 430 to 600 euros for one bedroom, or 480 to 650 for two in the center. Step just 10 minutes from the piazza, and you'll find two bedrooms for 350 to 500. Utilities run 160 to 230 monthly, markets 220 to 300, internet 30 or less. Transportation costs under 40, though most walk everywhere. Dining out is a regular pleasure, 10 to 15 euros for pasta alla norma, salad, and wine. Altogether, a comfortable life here runs about 1,400 euros a month, less than HOA fees alone in many U.S. coastal cities. Licata offers not just affordability, but a true community where modern life and timeless tradition meet. Total monthly budget for comfortable single living comes to about 1,400 euros. Compare that to U.S. coastal cities, where HOA fees alone often exceed 400 euros monthly. Here you don't have to worry about that, and the town maintains a well-equipped hospital with emergency services. Specialized care remains accessible through Agrigento's larger facilities, 35 to 40 minutes along scenic coastal roads. And one more thing you need to know. Sicily ranks mid-range on the Global Peace Index, but Licata's community networks create local security. To become a resident, standard visa requirements do apply, and the people there actively welcome international participation for authentic integration rather than expat isolation, which might be the perfect option for some like Ruth. She widowed in Chicago at 67, and she feared retirement meant increasing isolation as friends moved or health declined. Instead, Licata offered unexpected rebirth. Her cheerful two-bedroom near daily markets became headquarters for unimaginable life. Morning Pilates with patient English translating instructors, afternoon cooking lessons with neighbors treating her like adopted family, evening passeggiata conversations flow between improving Italian and broken English. I thought I was making financial decisions. Instead, I chose a completely different aging with a community and a place that feels it was made for me. Living a life I'd forgotten was possible. She admitted to me that back home, she was preparing for a graceful decline. Now she says I'm learning to live a full life again, not despite my age, but because wisdom brings appreciation for incredible second chances at happiness. Now, if you've got 85,000 euros, there's another option right in Licata's historic center. This first floor flat gives you about 130 square meters of space, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a big living room, and a full kitchen. It's bright, airy, and even comes with a balcony. Yes, you won't find a lift, but being just one floor up keeps access simple. Shops and bus stops are right outside your door, and the beach is only a short drive away. For retirees wanting both space and walkable town life, this one is a strong contender. So, which one calls to you? The serenity of Abruzzo, Puglia's olive groves, Calabria's endless beaches, practical Sicily, or Licata's authentic harbor life? Drop a comment with your pick. We actually read every single one. Thanks for joining us. But don't stop here. Check out the next video on screen. You'll love it if you enjoyed this one.